Today I will tell you the story of a young man. He was not just any young man, but someone who believed that life had more to offer than what he saw at home. He dreamed of freedom, wealth, and adventures, convinced that the world beyond was where everything awaited him. Yet, like every journey, his would bring discoveries that no gold could ever buy. The young man had always felt that his village was far too small for him. The mornings were always the same: the sound of animals, the smell of freshly baked bread, the dust of the road swept by the wind. There was safety there, but no novelty. And in his heart, novelty was worth more than any safety. He would look beyond the arid hills and imagine great cities full of lights, bustling markets, and towering palaces. He dreamed of living as a free man, master of his own destiny. Each day at home felt like a day wasted. One day he gathered his courage. He approached his father and with a steady voice asked for his share of the inheritance. The words cut through the silence of the house like a blade. His father stared at him, eyes heavy. His mother dropped the clay jar she was holding, and its sharp crack echoed across the floor. But the young man did not waver. Days later, with a small leather satchel and a few simple garments, he set out. Behind him, the house that had guarded his childhood seemed smaller than ever. His steps were firm, his heart racing. He believed the world would finally open before him. On the dusty road, the sun was slowly setting, painting the horizon in gold. The wind raised clouds of dust, and the young man never looked back. He did not see the tears running down his mother's face, nor the deep gaze of his father, as if saying farewell without knowing if there would be a return. To him there was no goodbye, only a beginning. The city seemed like a dream when the young man finally arrived. The wide streets were filled with voices, music, and the scents of spices drifting from the markets. Men shouted their offers. Merchants displayed colorful fabrics. Gold glittered in the sunlight. The young man's heart swelled with a euphoria he had never known in his village. With the coins of his inheritance, he quickly dressed like the townsmen. Fine tunics, new sandals, rings on his fingers. He found people eager to laugh, drink, and celebrate by his side. Each night wine flowed in abundance. Tables overflowed with roasted meats and exotic fruits. The sound of drums and flutes echoed through houses and squares. He believed he had found his place in the world. There was no one to judge him, no limits to contain him. Every day felt like a new adventure, and every coin spent seemed only to open more doors. His friends clapped his shoulders, toasted to his health, and hailed him as if he were a prince. But hidden behind every laugh and every song was an illusion he could not yet see. The gold ran out faster than he had imagined. What had once been laughter, music, and feasts turned into silence. The companions who had praised him vanished like smoke. The doors that had once opened now closed in his face. Hunger began to ache. His empty stomach cried louder than any drum from the feasts he remembered. He wandered the streets, offering himself for small tasks, but few paid him any attention. The brightness of his clothes had faded. The rings were sold for a few coins of bread. At last he accepted a job he had never imagined for himself, tending animals in a dry field, where even the pigs seemed to live with more dignity than he did. His hands, once lifted to raise cups of wine, now sank into mud and scraps. Many times he longed to eat what was given to the animals, but even that was denied him. In the cold nights, lying on the hard ground, he thought of the home he had abandoned. The memory of fresh bread, of his father's kind gaze, of his mother's embrace, of the simple warmth of home, all now seemed like a distant treasure. Tears fell silently, mixing with the dust on his face. And it was there in his weakness that the decision to return was born. The road back seemed longer than the road he had taken away. His feet were weary, his clothes in rags, and every step was heavy with shame. As he walked, he rehearsed words, "Father, I have sinned against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But deep down he feared rejection. In the distance, when the first houses of the village came into view, his heart raced. What would he find? Rejection? Indifference? Or only silence? He lowered his head, ready to bear the weight of his choices. Then something unexpected happened. A figure ran toward him. It was his father. He did not walk slowly. He did not wait for explanations. He ran, his robe lifting the dust, tears in his eyes. When he reached him, there was no accusation, only a strong embrace, overflowing with tenderness. The young man collapsed into his father's arms. He felt small, yet safe. His shame melted away in the warmth of that embrace. In the background, his mother approached, smiling through her tears. The house, once only a memory, was now real, alive, welcoming. In that moment, he understood. True wealth was never in banquets or palaces, but in the love that had always waited for him, steady as a rock.